Hello, and so today we're going to continue with our work on forces, and we're going to look at speed, distance, time, and go into these two areas of formulas and graphs. So first of all, when we're calculating speed, speed is distance divided by time. In math class or in a class you had for science, you might have talked about using this triangle to help you solve. So notice that I highlighted S, that's for speed, T for time, and D for distance. Notice where they are located in the triangle. So speed is distance divided by time. We could also calculate based on that formula using our algebra distance. Calculating distance, notice it's the same setup inside the triangle. Distance is now highlighted, D for distance. So the side by side means to multiply. Distance is speed times time. So if we know these two, we can solve for distance. Same thing for calculating time. We can use the same triangle. Now I'm highlighting the T for time. Notice that the D is at the top and S is at the bottom. That's because it is time is distance divided by speed. If I know these two, I can solve for time. Okay, based on that, we can calculate and get a number. We can also plot the information from distance and time and put it on a speed graph. I did my distance in meters and my time in seconds. This is the data on this pink line. I'd like you to interpret this graph and answer this on the multiple choice. Here's the next graph I'd like you to interpret. Again, it's the same thing, distance in meters, time in seconds. Interpret this graph. Here's the data of distance versus time. Here's our third graph. Interpret this graph. Again, distance is meters, time in seconds. This data is going this way. What is going on in this graph? Here is a final graph. Distance in meters, time in seconds. This happens first, second, and last. Interpret this graph. Here are the final points that I'd like to make that's important for this graph. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So at the top, put speed for the title, and then it's a two-column notes, your main idea, details, and then a line. There will be 4 ideas that we're going to talk about. The first one is average speed. Average speed is the total distance divided by the total time. That's average speed. So whatever the end distance is divided by the end time, that is the average speed. You just plug it in and you divide. Whatever's the end distance divided by the end time. Speed versus velocity. There is a new vocabulary word that I'm going to add in here. Velocity is speed with a given direction. For example, the dog went east to get the toy 10 meters per second. If I just said 10 meters per second, that's speed. By adding in the direction east, now I use a new term called velocity, and that's the difference. So once I give the direction and the speed. The third main idea is this flat line graph. A flat line graph, this is time is passing, but no change in distance. The next one, the last one, is the straight line graph. Increasing or decreasing straight line graph. Time passes and distance is constant. If it is distance here, notice this right here, the speed is increasing when the line is like this. Again, this is distance and time would be on this line. Then the speed is decreasing this way on the graph. Okay, I hope you took detailed notes and you did a very good job, and you can ask any questions in class. Thank you so much.